Hello, everybody, and welcome to a very special episode of the Brain Cancer Podcast. Exactly 5 years ago today, from when I'm recording this episode, I was sat in the emergency room at MGH, unsure of what was going on. I was there with my girlfriend at the time, Samantha. She was by my side the entire time, and for that I am so thankful. To be honest, I don't really even remember a whole lot of that late Saturday night into Sunday, where I was just at the hospital after I'd gotten checked in and then sent for an MRI, and they discovered the tumor. Very quickly, they had scheduled surgery for Monday the 26th, for sometime in the morning. I don't even know when. And I remember I woke up sometime around 4 in the afternoon, I think. I'm not really sure, though. It was kind of like a big blur. At the time, I knew nothing at all about brain cancer because I had no personal experience with it. Obviously, I had never had it before. I didn't know anybody who had it before. And like most people, I never thought it would happen to me. 2 days later, on Wednesday the 28th, I was back home at the new apartment, unsure of how any of the furniture actually got inside of the apartment. I was in a pretty bad way. I did my 30 sessions of radiation, and I had also started on the immunotherapy clinical trial for durvalumab, which I was on for close to or approximately 3.5 years. About a month and a half later, after that, I was back under the knife for a second resection surgery for a small recurrence that happened. Not a big deal. I was back home in 24 hours, feeling fine, and ready to take on whatever happened to be next. What that next turned out to be was the standard of care treatment, which is 523 cycles of Temodar. As of the time of recording, I have done 4 cycles with 2 more to go. I am currently taking the Zofran around 10 o'clock in the morning, and I take the Temodar an hour later, so usually about 11 o'clock or so, because there have been multiple peer-reviewed studies showing the effectiveness of taking Temodar during the day as opposed to taking it at night, so you don't have to deal with any of the side effects during the day. In theory, that does make sense because at night your brain is trying to sleep and repair itself, while during the day it's busy doing everything else that you will be doing during your day, regulating your entire body. To me, it makes sense that it would work better during the day, and that's what I've been doing. After 4 cycles, the only thing I have noticed is after the 3rd cycle, I had some all-over body itching. No rashes or any other indicators of an allergic reaction. It was just this continuous itching, which I then just took some antihistamines, not Benadryl or anything like that, and that's all been taken care of. I get the nausea and the fatigue, definitely, but that's just part of the chemo experience. When I was first diagnosed and I got home from the hospital, I wanted to learn everything that I could about brain cancer and more specifically glioblastoma because that's what I was diagnosed with. If you look at the statistics, they're not good, but that's just what they are. I also happen to have the IDH1 mutation, which is really good. My tumor was unmethylated, which was not so good, but that qualified me for a clinical trial, which I had mentioned earlier, and I was one of only 6 patients that actually made it to the end of that trial. Did it do something for me? Did it do nothing for me? I feel like it did something, in addition to the fact that I am also, at the time of diagnosis, and still now, actually, far younger than when most people who are diagnosed with a glioblastoma were, which was somewhere around like that 65, 70 years old. I'm also in fairly good shape. I'm active. I have a lot of hobbies. I love being outside. I just love moving around and enjoying the natural world and just being outside. That kind of takes me to what I want to talk about next. It seems like such a weird thing to say that it's been 5 years. Not many people make it to 5 years. Well, I've met so many wonderful people, like not just at the hospital or my treatment team or anything, but you all. I've met so many great people on here. And at the same time, I've lost many great people, some close friends, and it can still be difficult to talk about because you get attached to these people and you form these relationships and you're going through the same thing together. And then you think, why am I still here? What did I do that's different? What is it? And I don't have an answer for that. I do just try and live the best life that I can. And speaking of recently losing somebody, if you all could go back and listen to episode 17 that I did with my buddy Stephen over in Ireland, he just very recently had passed, and I'm so appreciative of the time that I did know him and got to chat with him, and it's never easy. The only thing that can help is time. It's been over 6 months since Caitlin had passed, and that still seems unreal to me. I can't believe it's been 6 months already. And on a side note, that's the only reason that I will ever cheer for Michigan State now, is just simply because she went there. I am no Big Ten fan at all. As we say in the Discord server, welcome to the club that nobody wants to be in. But like I said, there are truly some amazing people that I have met through that Discord server, as well as just people reaching out to me from here. And it means so much to me, and I can't really put it into words how it affects me. 5 years is pretty amazing. When I was diagnosed, I wasn't sure what the future held. I knew that I could get here, and now that I am here, it's only appropriate to set the next 5 years as my next goal. Hopefully without another surgery in the middle of it, but if I have to do that, I will do that, as long as I can physically maintain my own quality of life, because I value quality of life far more than quantity. I have to be outside and active, and I cannot live just cooped up or in a hospital bed or in any sort of hospital setting. I didn't even want to be there any longer than I had to be for my surgery at the end of May. It's like, all right, I'll stay the night like I'm supposed to, and I'll be out of here in the morning. Come home and be much better off. It has been a very busy and frustrating and difficult few months, but at the same time, there's been a lot of good things that have been happening in my life. That's just pretty much how life is. You're going to have your ups, you're going to have your downs, and especially with a brain cancer diagnosis, we have a lot of each. Every time we get a clean MRI scan, some good news, and should be celebrated, as I do every single time. I have a couple different anniversaries that are cancer related, which are ironically in my mind that whenever I hit a certain anniversary, I will treat myself to something or go do something that I want to do, whatever it may be. And I'm so appreciative of each one of these, and who knows how long it'll actually last. if it's not blatantly obvious, I do not have any sort of script or any sort of notes to follow. I'm basically just talking straight into my microphone and just letting whatever come out, come out. I'm not really sure what the purpose of this is, other than me wanting to just document the fact that it's been 5 years of my journey now. As odd as it may sound, and I've mentioned this before, at least to other people, that, okay, yes, having brain cancer, it's not great at all, but in the long run has made me a better person. It may sound counterintuitive, but it really has changed me as a person into being somebody that I didn't know that I could be. Really, I had just been living my life, doing my thing, and just going through every day as it was. But now, I've completely changed who I am as a person. Not forcefully or intentionally. It just happened. And it wasn't overnight. It was over the course of starting treatment, having to think about a lot of things, and slowly realizing that, my time could be, or likely could be, very limited, and I don't want to waste it. So I've tried to better myself in other ways, as well as just generally being more positive and a very patient person. Just somebody that people would actually want to be around, unlike the monster that the original tumor turned me into, because that was one of the worst periods of my life that I can ever remember. And the fact that I can't remember half of it just because the tumor was so large, that's even scarier, because I apparently said some things that I don't remember. I bought a whole bunch of bus tickets that I don't remember. I don't know what else I did that I don't remember. And I just said some things to some people that I still feel bad about to this day. Although they know and I know that it wasn't me doing the talking, it was the tumor, it's still hard to just put that in the past and forget about it like it just never happened. It's not as bad now as it was, but maybe that also played a part in me just wanting to become a better person overall. Not just for myself, but for everybody else around me. I am going to try and edit this fairly quickly. I am recording it quite late at night though, so it may have to get started tonight and finished in the morning, because I want to get this up as soon as possible. If possible by Monday morning, which would hopefully be the day after what would have been my surgery in 2016. Thank you all so much for listening and for all of your support. It means the world to me. I have actually redone my whole desk setup. I purchased additional foam padding, like acoustic sound foam, to put around my entire corner where I record, as opposed to just the 6 that I had before. So hopefully now it will sound a little bit better. Although I know my voice right now isn't the greatest. I'm hoping that once I get back into everything, it'll all sound fine. And I really like how I have my entire corner of my bedroom set up now, that I can actually record without having to worry too much about bouncing sounds and echoes and whatnot. So I think I will leave it here. Just thank you all so much for everything you do for me, because without all of your support, I don't know. I plan to keep going as long as I can, and hopefully I can keep bringing the good vibes to everybody. But I just wanted to kind of sit down and get some things out, because I've been thinking a lot about a lot of things. Nothing bad or anything, so don't worry, but I think I'm in a pretty good place now. So I will be back soon again with another episode. And if you would like to come on the show to tell your story, please email me at braincancerpodcast@gmail.com. You can like the page on Facebook at facebook.com/braincancerpodcast, or give me a follow on Twitter at braincancerpod. I'm sorry, I am so far behind on things, and yeah, that's my fault. But have a great day or night, and I will talk to you again soon. Bye.